Evening all, this is Scott and John from the Mercenary Miniature Painter, back for a roasting hot game of Warhammer. It's not just the weather that's hot, it's the game as well, Scott.
And
both the players playing, if that's what you're into.
There's a big old flame cannon on the board today.
Yeah, but he's in the pond, so he might be he might be a bit cooled down. But anyway, enough of the nonsense. So back to the campaign. We are on turn 18. We are doing Greolort against Ragnar tonight. My friend Scott here, he is playing Greolort, so he's brought a nice Chaos Horde of mix of demons and chaos, which should be fun tonight. I have gone the Dwarven way with 4 artillery pieces, but some big blocks, and we are playing Headhunter, Scott, aren't we?
We are indeed. So if you kill enemy heroes in combat, you get double points as long as you hold on to the head, but it can be reclaimed like a banner. So it just adds a little bit of extra points on the board, and then obviously that removes any table quarters. But otherwise, you get your general banners and the usual.
Obviously, campaign-wise, this battle's a little bit inconsequential. Obviously, if there is a massacre and that, there will be an army out. There'll be a new one in, which could cause problems elsewhere. And still, both of these two are right by all the rest of the armies, so they've still got plenty to play for. But we are looking forward to this one, mate, aren't we? I've painted up a fair few new models, and you've got a very different list to what you normally play.
Yeah. Should be a fun game. I think we were just glad for a bit of a mix-up. I think High Elves or Empire have been on the table for every game we've done the last like 6 or 7 rounds, it feels like. So it's nice to mix it up. And we did actually kick off our prelude to the campaign was Dwarves and Chaos, but we were reversed, so I was playing the Dwarves. So yeah.
And Greolort's come back, hopefully not too angry tonight for my sake anyway.
Yeah, he's been the second scariest after Johan, I think.
Yeah, because GM's obviously had a few battles, but he hasn't really done too well, has he? So no. I think Greolort has obviously got to be the main man after good old Johan. But right, that's the intro. We will do deployment and everything else now, and then we will roll off for turn 1. Enjoy. So tonight for the Dwarves, we'll be going right to left. I have 10 quarterers over here. We have the new flame cannon. He is in the pond, but he's on a stone, so he's all right there. He hasn't burnt out just quite yet. Let's see what he'll do. 10 Thunderers here. And we got 19 Slayers full command. They are just Troll Slayers. Got 1 Dwarf Cannon here. 1 Grudge Thrower here. The Grudge Thrower and the Flame Cannon are newly painted, and these Handgunners, so expect them to die pretty quick. 20 Hammerers full command, and they have the General Ragnar and a Runesmith in there. 10 more Thunderers and an Organ Gun. And then right over here we have a Dragon Slayer. After Scott deployed his Hell Cannon, I thought this man can be Gotrek for the day.
Happy days. In the Chaos Army tonight, in my core selection, I've got 5 Marauders over here. They've got Musicians and no other command. I've got 5 Khorne Knights with full command. And I've got 18 Warhounds in a big unit. They were supposed to be a bus for my general, but there's a lot of panicky things on the other side of the table. So now they're just going to be a big distraction unit. One of my specials is a unit of 16 Bloodletters with full command. I also have another one over here. I've got Greolort himself hiding in the woods. He's a level 4 wizard. He's got Steed of Shadows, Pelt of Midnight, Creeping Death, and whichever is number 4, I've forgotten. But not
it's the Fear.
The one that causes fear. I've forgotten what it's called. I'll come back to it if I do remember. My other core was a unit of Marauder Cav, the same as the other one. I've got 5 Furies there, and I've got the big scary Hell Cannon, which John has been fearing me bringing for a while, and I haven't, so it had to come out eventually. So we'll see if it can do anything this game, because it doesn't look like John's got too much to bait it, so it might actually get some free shots off. I think previous games it's just run around spewing on people, hasn't it?
To be honest, yeah, it's normally the actual stone thrower is not too much of the problem as everything else.
All right, so that's 2,000 points. Deployment, we will show you now. So that's how we're deployed, fairly standard across from each other. Got the Slayers holding the line over here, and most of the stuff's packed into the middle on either side of this wood here as well. So we will do a quick roll off for who is going to get the first turn. John's getting the +1.
Come on, you dwarves.
Oh dear. Well,
Only just.
only just, but that is enough. So I've got weather a lot of shooting, and we'll come back after John's turn 1. What's that smile for?
Oh, I don't think I've ever had a first turn as good as that one, to be honest. I was debating whether to go first as well, because a lot of my shooting was going to be out of range, but I thought, no, I better start trying to plink something off. And so the movement, these Thunderers marched up onto the hill, Slayers come up behind them, the Hammers moved up, these guys just wheeled a bit. Obviously, the Organ Gun stayed where he is too, and the Dragon Slayer just come up here, but his job's already done now, null and void. So, with no magic, it got to the shooting. So the guess ranges, I guess both the cannon and the stone thrower at the Hell Cannon, which is no longer here. With 2 decent rolls, the cannon did strike him, but I only did 1 wound.
Didn't need it at the end.
No. And then the stone thrower was just the tiniest bit shy. It scattered to just, well, partially on it. I did hit with the partial, and then I was 6s to wound. He did wound it, and me and Scott did double check. It is D6 wounds. Obviously, he's magical, so the Hell Cannon didn't get his ward save, and I rolled a 6 on the wounds. That was bye-bye Hell Cannon. 7 wounds between the 2 of them, and even sweeter, the Marauders panicked from that being destroyed, and they ran off the table. And then just to cap things off, a few crossbows over here, killed another 2 Marauders over there, but they did pass their panic. So Dwarf turn 1, well, that was a good probably 300, 400 points shaved off your army.
This is the first day of your shorts, John.
Yeah, exactly. It always happens, doesn't it? I got my best t-shirt on for it, got the shorts rolled up. You knew I meant business today. Right, your turn 1, my friend.
Right, being robbed of any shooting phase, that was quite a quick turn, so everything's just jumped up as fast as it can. And I've got the Furies over here. Again, I would have liked to hop around behind things, but that Dragon Slayer is looking a bit menacing, so I think I'll leave it. Everything else is just going to advance up this way. And I'm just going to hope that I can take another shooting phase on the chin. I did try to even the score with a Pelt of Midnight on the Hounds, just to make sure they didn't get shot to hell before they hit the combat. But John scrolled it because I rolled 5 dice at it, and I unfortunately didn't get the Irresistible Force. So that is my turn 1.
Is it ready? I didn't really want to smile this turn because that was even worse than turn 1, I think. So the movement, the Dragon Slayer just come round, the Hammer shuffled back, the Slayers moved up behind the hill, and that was all the movement. The shooting, so the guess ranges, so I guess 12 on the Flame. He rolled an 8, which landed just in front of the Bloodletters, and he cooked, how many did he cook? 7 of them.
Yeah.
Even with their ward save, he's managed to cook 7 of them. These crossbowmen finished off the last 3 Marauders that were there, Marauder Horsemen.
With some overkill as well, I would say.
The cannon did hit the Bloodletters, but he rolled too high, so he just bounced on the one on the back, so he just only killed 1. The stone thrower landed dead on the dogs, but he only killed 1, annoyingly, because the partials and whatnot. The organ gun rolled 6 shots. He dispatched the Furies.
All 5 of them out with no. I don't pass a single demonic save yet. I don't think.
1 on the Bloodletters. So that was the Furies gone, and then these guys here with the dogs right in front of them. It was 3s and 3s, and I'd done 6 wounds. And then we've done 6 wounds, and they've panicked off. So pretty brutal that turn for the poor Chaos. Yeah, the Dwarfs don't know they're letting up tonight. I think Ragnar's got a grudge to settle with poor old Greolort, and he's getting it. But yeah, let's see what my friend Scott can do. Probably not a lot on this turn, but you never know.
Be a quick one. Oh, right. Try not to feel too sorry for myself at the moment. Short turn, because I only have a few units now. They've all just moved forward. And then I thought I'd try and pelt on Midnight this unit with a nice 5 dice, and he miscast and wounded himself. So that was the first wound of the game that I've done, and I've done it to myself. That's turn 2 over.
The brutality continues. As you can see, there's not much of a Chaos Army left on the table. I think this is the most reliable artillery I think I've ever had.
Yeah.
And the most brutal Thunderers and Quarrelers I've ever seen. But yeah, movement. These guys shuffle back. Dragon Slayer come over, and the Slayer's just done a slight wheel on the hill behind the Thunderers. Obviously, no magic, so straight into the shooting. I'll just go right to left. Even though 5 of them could see the bloodletters, they still killed 2. The flame cannon hit right down them. I think he killed another 2. These Thunderers, they didn't really do too much to the Knights, only on 2 wounds, but Scott failed both saves, so they killed 2 of them. The cannon went directly through. He killed 4. No, he killed 3. He is magical, so he didn't have any ward saves. I think, did these handgunners kill a couple
They killed
more?
2, yeah. They did
2.
6 wounds, and I saved 4 of those ones.
Yeah, and then the organ gun rolled an 8 on them as well. You did save a couple of them as well.
Killed another 4, I think.
Killed another 4. And the grudge thrower did land dead on. He scattered 10 that way. I have got the rune of accuracy, so he scattered 10 that way, and it never hit anything. So that was the end of that. Pretty bad for you, my friend. I'm not going to lie. It's not looking great.
It is not, but at least I get some charges in, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Chaos turn 3. Is it 3? Was it 4 now?
Yeah, 3.
It's 3. And I finally killed something. So the Knights and the Bloodletters charged the Thunderers on the hill. I did lose my champion on the way in, annoyingly, but I did make it to combat. Magic, I actually got a spell off, so I got Creeping Death on this guy here, but I only rolled 1 hit and then it didn't wound him, so that was all for nothing, even though it was an irresistible attack. And I only killed 8 of the Thunderers, to be honest. I was hoping for a complete butchery of them.
And they did kill one back as well.
Yeah, I lost a Bloodletter. So,
and stand and shoot as well.
Yeah, they've actually thwarted me a little bit, but they did auto-break due to the Bloodletter still just about outnumbering them, and they've run into the Slayers now. So it's on to John's turn. He's only really got one thing he's going to be firing at, I think, but it's still all in the air for me. So I've got to kill a lot of stuff to even the score and try and eke out a draw from the mess that I've got. Go on then. That turn 4?
Yeah, mate. An actual turn where I didn't really do a lot. That's how brutal the other 3's been. So the charges with the hammers went into the bloodletters. The rest of the moves, these guys reformed. These guys reformed. The organ gun just moved up. And that was it. Shooting, obviously everything moved or reformed. So the only one that could see, the cannon could see Greolort with my guess, and I rolled a 2 and a 6. I ended up falling about half centimetre short of Greolort.
Yeah, just plonked right in front of him.
So he got away with that one lightly. There was no other shooting. Then onto the combats, I pretty much whiffed all my attacks. Luckily, Scott called a challenge, and my champ did kill his champ in the challenge. Ragnar only done 1 wound, even with his 5 attacks, and that was it. Scott managed to kill 1 hammer back and aim some attacks on the runesmiths, but didn't wound him. But luckily, combat res, I crumbled the rest of them out of it. So that was how that one went. And then my poor Slayers got absolutely butchered them. So they didn't get a very nice treatment from the...
no, I think it was 8 down on it.
9.
9.
There was 19 of them.
Lovely job.
But yeah, turn 4 for the Dwarves. I can't complain too much because how the rest of the turns went. But Scott is actually getting into me a bit now. And it's his turn 4 as well. So these Slayers might not be long for the world.
Turn 4, I just did a flank charge on the Hammerers, just as a bit of a Hail Mary, to be honest. I thought maybe the dogs might kill something. Greolort's moved back in the wood. I tried to give them fear, just to give them a bit more of a chance in the combat, but he rolled awfully. I think he only got a 12 on 5 dice, and John stopped it easily. It's a shame, really, because these guys absolutely butchered the Slayers, so I think I had a couple of overkill there. Unfortunately, it's John's turn now, so I've done it in the wrong turn, so the Slayers have done their job, but at least I have killed something, although unfortunately it's the thing in the army that wanted to die in the first place. The Hounds, actually, they almost did okay. I rolled 2 wounds, which I was more than happy about. But then, unfortunately, John saved both of them, even on the only 5s. And then he killed 4 back. They've broke. He's opted to chase me, and I've managed to make it away. So I rolled 11, and John rolled a 9, which was down to 8 because Dwarves are stumpy legs. So yeah, still not much for me to do other than just try to butcher forward. So I'm just hoping now that I survive enough with
You're in
these
the kill
guys.
box.
I am in the kill box. Yeah, if you look, we've got shooting here, 3 war machines, and some shooting there, and even maybe another war machine there. So if anything's alive, I might get rid of a couple more war machines next turn, but we'll see.
It's all falling apart for the dwarves now.
Yeah, you can't quite get the last kills in
No,
line, can
good
you?
job we done all the work in the first few turns. So the charge is, I contemplated what to do with the hammers. They're never going to be able to catch anything over here, so they've just chased the dogs off. The dogs ran all the way over there now. And then the other movements, he's just come to there as far as he can. The rest of it was all ready for shooting. So all the guess ranges, this guy was firing over there. The cannon was going straight through and possibly could have hit my runesmith after. And the grudge thrower was dead on that bloke's head. The grudge thrower scattered 8 over this way. I re-rolled the scattered and he scattered 8 over this way. So that was that. The cannon, I guessed 2 and he only rolled 6 more. So I only went up, no, he rolled 8 more, but I only went up a 10 and that fell just shy. And then the flame cannon misfired, but luckily he rolled a 5. So he's a good to go for next turn. The rest of the shooting, these guys killed 2 more bloodletters. These guys killed 1.
1, yeah.
Yeah, killed 1 knight. They did do a lot of wounds, but Scott did make a few saves. And then the organ gun, I didn't want to get greedy. I rolled a 4, so it was 2 on the character, 2 on the unit. I rolled double 1 on the unit, and then I wounded both of them on the character, but he made both his saves. So I only killed 1 knight and 2 bloodletters and chased some hounds off this turn. These pathetic dwarves are running out of steam, I think.
Can anyone hear that tiny violin in the background?
Turn 5 for the kill.
Short and sweet turns when you've got no models on the board. These guys charged the cannon and wiped them out. He wasn't in range of the flame cannon, so I opted not to charge him, and he's just moved up there. Surprisingly, these guys did rally, and Greolort moved up to try and zap the Slayer again, but his magic has been ineffective, so nothing happened again. So just the one thing destroyed. I had to overrun just to make sure that I wasn't going to get shot off the board. So unfortunately, that means they're pretty much out of the game now because I'll be coming back in the next turn unable to kill anything. So it's really about whether or not John can kill that one single bloodletter. Go on then, last turn.
Last turn for the dwarves. This guy moved out of harm's way. They moved up the board. Everything else stayed exactly where it was 2. Guess ranges. Stonethrower could see Greolort. I'm not sure if you can shoot into the woods. If someone lets us know, that'd be handy for cannonballs and that. For some reason, I didn't think you could. We couldn't find it in the book, whether it's an FAQ or not. God knows. I was off of him by a couple of inches. I scattered 4 inches one way, re-rolled it, scattered 4 inches another way. Everything of accuracy likes doing that. So he saved himself. I had this bloodletter here. I didn't bother with the flame cannon shooting that because he would have just overshot. So Corlers went into him. I was just saying they've done very well tonight. They were on 6s because of range and he was a single model now, but 4 of them hit, 3 of them wounded, and they killed him. So that left nothing for these Sunderers to do. And just for one big last hurrah, I thought he was going to be out, but I did chance it. The organ gun at Greolort. I did roll up 8 shots, but we were about 3 inches short. So that was it for the Dwarves. Convincing win, and let's see what Scott can do on his turn to try and stop that. He's got a magic phase, a big magic phase.
Yeah, let's just do it now.
Where are these going anywhere?
It's no point. I don't think they can do anything now. So I'll come back because I do my answer. And that's that. Greolort did move. I tried to do creeping death on them. It would have been very unlikely, but I thought if I could kill a few and they panicked and he broke, then that would have been a massive swing. But alas, it's not to be. There was no table quarters in this game, as we said at the start, so I didn't bother shuffling anything around really. So I think I have definitely lost, maybe not been massacred, just because I have got my heroes on the board.
You've got a banner as well.
So yeah, we'll total it up and we'll come back to you in a sec. Go on then, how badly did you smash me?
It went too badly in the end, to be honest. You've got the Thunderers, a cannon, one banner and the Slayers for 607. I got most of your army, but only for 1458 because you still had your characters and those knights are pretty pricey. So in the end, it was a solid victory for the Dwarfs.
Nice one.
Yeah, the artillery worked tonight. I think that was...
yeah, losing the Hell Cannon right at the beginning before it even fired a shot, definitely. I think it was mainly, obviously, it would have been nice to get some damage with it, but like we said between takes, it was mainly that it made me completely change my strategy. So I was going to sort of play silly buggers on one side of the table whilst I rolled up on the other side.
Yeah.
But as soon as I was just going to get shot off, I kind of have to just march everything forward. The Furies got blasted away, turn 2.
I would have had to repeatedly shoot it as well, so they wouldn't have been able to shoot at other stuff because they chipped a lot of wounds off. The cannon chipped a lot of wounds off the bloodletters when they come in as well, which obviously I'd have had to keep shooting at the Hell Cannon. Marauders fleeing from it being destroyed. You didn't have nothing to really chase anything down.
No, it was a bit brutal, but
yeah, when you got in against the Slayers, you've done some dispatching 19 Slayers and only 2 rounds of combat was pretty.
That's what I said at the end. As much as it does feel bad when you lose a big chunk of your army in 2 turns, but equally we've done other ways around. When I think the last time I took Khorne army against your ogres, I just rolled through them because you don't have anything to stop them. So it goes. That's what happens when you load up on just combat. Really, just
we did say the Brett's Empire game of recent that was pretty similar to that, wasn't it? Just absolutely devastating 2 turns, and I managed to just about, which, like you said, you did claw it back pretty well in this.
Yeah, I think if especially because I knew like the battle was fairly inconsequential as well. I was like a few of the points I did give away, like the dogs charging the flank of the hammerers, was only just because I thought, well, there's no real consequence to me if I lose the game. So I did go for a few.
You were pretty hampered with having to take Greolort as well.
That's the thing, you don't really complement the list. It'd be much better off with another Exalted.
And he didn't really that great against Dwarves, because even if I suppose you could have spent a load more money on magic, but really Chaos, you want to be getting into combat, don't you?
Yeah, so that's what I said to you when we looked at the lists, because most of the things, it's hard, out of the spells that Chaos can pick as well. It's like if you go Tzeentch is too random, Slaanesh you need to be too close to really make that much. With just one caster, you don't really do a great deal with. And then out of like the basic lores, it's like Fire and Metal are both going to be ranged attacks, and you've got so many ranged attacks to fire back at me. That's not really going to help. Death messes with your leadership. Your leadership's so high anyway; it's probably not going to make a massive difference. And then Shadow would have been good if I'd have got.
Never got Unseen
Lurker, but even then, to be fair, I barely got off any spells. So
you need like 10 dice against Dwarves really to actually have like a sort of decent-ish magic phase. Even then, it's still, like I said, with miscasts and stuff like that, it's a bit iffy.
I pretty much my thinking when I was designing it was obviously I had to have him, and I almost didn't give him any upgrades at all. But I thought, and it did kind of come into play in this game. I just thought, worst case, you won't get the points for him because he's got no reason to come forward. He's not pivotal in my plans, so I just kind of have to write him off, which is more or less what I did. He didn't do anything, did he, all game? Did he
kill anyone? No. He got one spell off on the Dragon Slayer and just never wounded him?
Never wounded him at all. So, yeah, he was exactly as useless as I thought he'd be on this one. But
one thing that wasn't useless, though, the Flame Cannon was quite good.
That was nice to see that, yeah. Don't see him out very often, and I think that was a good one for getting through my bloodletters.
Well, I was quite happy when I seen you had, because I thought it was going to be a bit of a risk taking it. If you went Cav, it's not going to do anything. But when I seen you had a few blocks of infantry, I thought, well, saying at least going to have something to have a pop.
We said loads of times, but that's the nice thing of this campaign. I've chucked out a lot of the tournament lists and stuff. You might bring 1 or 2 every now and again, but there's plenty of things that I normally wouldn't bother. I've never bother putting demon infantry in a horde's army usually, but but it is nice to take them, nice to do something different. I like seeing a big block of Slayers. That was fun. I also
Until
like
they all died.
but yeah, so we are in the closing phases. But the main thing is next week is going to be a big siege between the High Elves and the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves are coming to take the castle of Malco. So make sure that you are all liked and subscribed for that one, because that one is going to be big. And then we've only got 2 campaign turns left. So that's pretty much, the Dark Elves have to win that one in order to have any chance of clawing a win in the campaign. But even if they take it, they've still got a bit of work to do. But it'd just be nice, something different. Isn't it?
Well, I said if you get propelled, we won't keep doing sieges, so you'll get to have another pop anyway. Which Kyra's helped you out that last turn, but obviously she's still gonna have to try and get through
I've got
another 2 armies yet. So
yeah, I've got a few things.
Still a lot to play for yet. I
Lovely.
think you're in a position to win it as well, mate. So
well,
there we go. Good
thanks
game,
very much.
sir.
See you all next week.